Hello ladies and gents, welcome to episode 1 of Powers Plays Total Warhammer. We'll be playing as the vampire counts. Now we're about 3 months out from Total War Warhammer 2 and probably, 6 weeks out from the DLC. We'll go into a bit more detail talking about that in a moment. So what we've got is I'm starting with the one that no one ever wants to start with. It's Heinrich Kimmler, the most useless legendary lord in the game. But I decided to start with him just to make it more challenging. We're playing on very hard. I'm not playing on legendary because I have the Conquer Anywhere mod on. Now the Conquer Anywhere mod, it changes the game drastically. It changes the tactics of the AI drastically, and they tend to be more aggressive, and therefore it's harder, especially with the vampires, because everyone hates you and you can get attacked on all sides very quickly. So this should be a decent challenge. I didn't want to put it on legendary. We're going to straight up to growth and income for the research. I didn't want to put it on legendary because within about 5 turns, once you've taken maybe the whole of Eastern and Western Sylvania, you'll get maybe 2 of the Empire provinces, sometimes 3 of the Empire provinces, declaring war on you, and the dwarves, and sometimes the orcs, the greenskins that are up here. So it gets a bit crazy. So this should be more than challenging. Mods, other mods, we've got aesthetic mods. We've got Reskin for the zombies, for the Cairn wraiths, the crypt horrors, and the crypt ghouls. So they've all been reskinned to look dirtier and nastier. I'll show you them in game when we have a fight. Let's go with money. So one of the great things about vampires, which I think, yeah, they're my favourite faction at the moment. The great thing about them is you don't have to worry about diplomatic relations with anybody. You can sell captives every single time, no one cares. Let's go with money. Enter. Oh. So my plan for Heinrich is to make him a defensive siege army, meaning I want him to be a specialist, his army and him, to be a specialist at defending a siege, because my plan is to take Beckhafam and Talabekland, Talbaheim, and to build up their walls to maximum, make them as highly defensible as possible, and then put an army in them. So this is probably going to be the main point where I'm going to defend against chaos, most likely. And here as well versus the Scalings and Varg, but also, you know, the chaos. So I want one army that's going to be epic at defending walls, and he's a good choice for it because we've got a banner. 1 second. Not bad money. Show me the banner. You got banner of swiftness. It's okay. It's not amazingly useful. Plus 50%. So I could put that on if I get any other cavalry. I could put that on them to keep them at the same kind of speed as the hex wraiths, maybe, because the hex wraiths are quite fast. This on a Blood Knight unit, devastating. Okay, we got some.
The taste of undeath is spread by your conquest, mighty lord.
I know. Everyone knows. I know. So there's our first battle. We'll play that shortly. Let's erase that. Delete that. And raise a few more of those. So we'll see what happens with this guy. He probably is going to go to Castle Tempelhof, which kind of sucks, but we don't have much choice but to follow him there if he does go there. And give you a point. So the reason why he's going to be great for defending a siege battle is with any spellcaster, you've only got a few points that you can put in the top talent tree. And then for the army talent tree, you can buff out your army completely. So I've got more than enough points to put in everything I want here, basically. Plus this is really useful. So casualty replenishment is okay, but the passive ability only active in melee, but it replenishes hit points of combatants, plus it heals injured, and then it resurrects them. It resurrects them and gives them +8 melee. So if Heinrich is involved in melee, he's going to be buffing people within 30 meters a lot. You know, that's the only non-spell which will resurrect. Oh, I didn't select anything. That will resurrect dead combatants. So that would be very useful on a wall when you know they're climbing up the wall and attacking, and as they die, as our units die, they're getting, damn it, they're getting buffed. That is why I chose, one of the other reasons why I chose Helmet. Let's do this for now. We can, I didn't get the special units. The Regiment of Renown. It's very silly of me. But see how that works. That's 50-50. We'll wait one turn then. We'll wait one turn to get the battering ram. We have to anyway before we besiege them. I'm kind of tempted to try and get a confederation with the von Karsteins, with Vlad, because he's very good. I love like his besieging ability. Like he can straight away attack this. He doesn't need any monstrous units or any battering rams or anything. He can just go straight in, which could be great for fast takeovers when there's not a big garrison against you. Plus, I love his Vanguard deployment, which is just ridiculous ability. So we're just over 50%. Want to resolve that one. I'm not going to fight the siege battle yet, because it takes forever, especially with a low-level army and no flying units. Okay, going well. Everything's going to plan. Raise Deb. As Kimmler is a necromancer, as he is a wizard, he obviously is not amazing at melee, but one of his one of his quest battles, or is it quest items, that, look at that, when you so he gets +5 to melee defense from that, and then with the ability you get +80% physical resistance for 22 seconds. That's amazing. It does have a 135 second cooldown, but still, that's pretty damn impressive and makes him really tanky for a short period of time. He's not as useless as a lot of people say. I mean, he is useless, he is, but... Okay, trick here to get some extra money. Take out the penultimate settlement for Tempelhof, and then... Wait, I got what? I got a Screaming Banner. What's a Screaming Banner? Is it one of the new ones? Banner gained. Plus, oh no, it's plus for leadership, okay. There was one I got the other day I'd never seen before, and it was +6 melee damage to the whatever unit you put it in. So that's pretty cool. I hope they keep adding different banners. They probably will have different banners and stuff for the upcoming game. I'm going to put all the points through the first tree first. Not all of them, but I'll go up to maybe Power Drain, or maybe Curse of Years I quite like. But then I'm going to start alternating and putting things down in here as well. What I'd like to have as well is my second army I might turn in. I'll probably get, actually no, maybe my third army. Second army is obviously going to be Manfred, because when you capture completely capture both these provinces, East and West Sylvania, you can recruit Manfred. See, now, so they've asked for, I probably can't raise that anymore. No, it's max. So they've asked for peace. I was going to ask for peace before I got there anyway. Take the money. You got 3k.
Your prestige
plus the extra money from this.
my lord.
Over 2,000.
News of
Bonus
your
objectives 2,000.
spreads far and wide.
So I'm at 14k.
Developing power.
I'm at 14k already, and I'm 6 turns in. That is crazy money. It is easy to get money with the vampires, but still, that's still pretty crazy. So we're going to move up. I'm not going to recruit them yet, but I will recruit these two chappies here. And we'll take out Vordenhof, and then we're going to move on to the battle. The quest battle. So let's upgrade this, because why not? You want to do the quest battle as early as you can, so that you get the Necromancer as early as possible. Now, Necromancers are pretty useless for vampires, because obviously Necromancers are unique to the vampire faction, but they're useless in a way, because every lord, nearly every lord, has those spells. Every lord, in legendary or not, has the same spell tree as the necromancer. So you don't really need him. But he is useful as a on-map. Let's go... Where should we put that? I'm not really sure what to put there. I might save that in case we get blood mites later. Leadership. I mean, who's going to need leadership? Let's put it on the... Let's put it on him. Let's put it on Kimmler himself. Also resolve. But yeah, if you deploy the necromancer, he reduces upkeep. Oh, nice. He reduces upkeep. Not upkeep, sorry. They reduce the cost of building in provinces. Okay, let's get ourselves a couple of extra units here. So let's merge these chappies together. That's all? Okay, let's merge all of them. 3, perfect. So we go 1, 2, 3. Is it? I can't remember who's got the quest, and they need 3 direwolf packs. I think there's Hellman. So what we'll do is we'll go for 3 Felbats, because we've already got 3 cavalry units there, so to speak. And we'll go with Master of the Dead. So if you've got this passive ability, replenishes hit points of combatants, disabled if engaged in melee, or leadership is broken. So that's not, it's okay, but you can't be involved in melee if you want to replenish. This map ride, oh, it does have, okay, so this resurrects dead combatants. It's map wide. Leadership broken. Okay, so this combined with this is going to be pretty pimped on the walls defending. Well, I've got to put a point somewhere. Let's go that, because we've already got a fireball spell. So 2 of my favourite weapons or trinkets or whatever to have on lords, especially kind of non-melee lords. Oh my god! We've got a Banshee 8 turns in. This is incredible. What? That's incredible, guys. That's so useful. So I wanted to get a Banshee in his army anyway as a duelist, because they make great duelists against other lords, and when you're playing the late game versus chaos, they always have. I'm going to put that on her because I'll tell you why in a second. Right, we're good to go. So when you play chaos late game, normally the armies have a pretty sick composition. They do have a decent. Okay, normally they do have like 6 chariots or something annoying like that, which is a bit too many of one type of unit, but they normally have 2 or 3, sometimes 4 or 5 lords in their army, so they could have their whatever their legendary lord is or normal lord is, then they'll have a wizard of some sort of spellcaster, but their spellcasters are quite tough. They're not like this chappie here or a normal necromancer or something. They are actually physically tough to fight. Then they're going to have 1 or 2 other champions, the melee expert heroes. So, and they do a lot of damage, and they're one of the biggest problems I find when you fight against chaos. Now, if you have a Banshee, the Banshee has a duelist trait, and the duelist trait means that they are experts at one-on-one fighting. They're not so good fighting like masses of people. They don't have like a splash damage and things like that. But one-on-one, they are great. They're really good. So I want to pimp out maybe, I don't know if I'd have 2 in this army. I might go for a vampire with shadow, the shadow law of magic, because they get some nice, she can give some nice buffs onto the defending guys, or debuffs onto the attackers. Plus vampires are not too bad in melee compared to say necromancer or other spellcasters. They are not too bad in combat. And having a vampire, the only army I'd really want a vampire in, I mean, if you get Manfred's army, you don't need a vampire because he has 2 laws of magic himself. So if you really wanted to make his army elite, you would get another melee expert in there, a White King or a Banshee or something. So I might get another vampire in this army, or I might get another Banshee or maybe a White King, just another expert melee to put on the walls. So This doesn't have any audio because I'm not playing as Manfred, who this is originally made for. I think they should have fixed that. I like this map. This is very simple tactics I go for. So these guys have Vanguard deployment? They do, okay. So Vanguard deployment in the trees over here with the cavalry. Front line of, say, there, plus a couple of those. So I put the spearmen on the right flank because they've got the Reichsguard, and the Reichsguard are their most dangerous unit. We have a backup line. We have our Spellbats. We have Heinrich himself and the Banshee, which we put in the middle. And we'll start. So we're going to push straight up. The mid. We'll leave them hidden. Yep, they're still hidden. These guys, the Regiment of Renown of the Direwolves, have anti-large. So they're great to pull in behind the Reichsguard here. So they're pushing up quite far. Look at this, slow us down a bit. Let's pull them back a little bit. Okay. So they're pushing on us, which is not normal. I don't know why they're pushing on us. So, okay, interesting. This is not normal at all. This is completely changed from the norm, but we'll push up on them, because why not? Got a fireball, cast that. Good, it went over my head to my guys. Oh, it knocks him backwards. Didn't do much damage, but it knocked him backwards. So, these guys, got to get in the back of them. You could smash them, you can smash them, and we'll use our Fellbats onto there. So we've got to go over in here and help our chappies there because they're getting kind of flanked. Well, they're going to be flanked in a second. Let's move up. This is really hectic. This is not how it normally plays out at all. Let's actually bring the Hex Race in behind another unit, let's say. No, 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 no. That was really close. There we go. So it's okay to put the Hex Race versus them because the Hex Race are ethereal and they only take a small percentage of the damage. I think only 25% of normal damage. You need to get involved. So our Banshee has smashed him. Did we miss? We missed. It's ridiculous. Drop that down there, please. Where the Reichsguard? Reichsguard is still up, just about. They're kind of spread all over the place. Hex Race see taking very little damage, even though going up against spears, and they are. Spears are obviously anti-large. Go get involved, come on. This Banshee's doing her job. She's chasing him down. Oh, see that damage? One hit there, Christ. That's good. They're gonna break now. Just need to make sure they're surrounded. I've still got 2 units back here we should use. Maybe we could fireball him to death, that'd be quite nice. Fire. Oh, he died already, I think. Oh, no, he didn't. That took his head off, I think. No, he's still alive. He's a tough one. Get him. Go on. Do you have a weapon? She does. Oh, she does. Oh, she just got him. She doesn't have a weapon, though. Does she? Yeah, she does. She's got some weird ethereal blade. So that should be it. Enemy Lord is dead. They're going to rout. Done. Job's good. It's only a 4-minute battle. I think it's quite fast. Does it have a timer on this? I think they need to redesign this whole load in, load out screen. Like, I'd like to see the statistics of the match, like how long did it take? So I think it was 4 minutes or something like that. Quite a short battle. 324 versus 502. So we lost some, not a huge amount. It looks like more on paper than it actually is here. Heinrich actually took a bit of damage. He got 1 kill though. Well done, Heinrich. She got none. I'd like to know if she's going to get less experience from this battle because she didn't get any kills, even though she probably did significantly more damage, and he's going to get more experience because he got 1 kill. Or is it we won, we get a general amount of experience that's shared equally among all units? I don't know how that works. It'll be interesting to find out. So 112 on the hex rate is nice. 26 they nearly got taken out though, but that's fine. 64, 47, 48. So the failbats did well. I think failbats are underutilized. I think they're more effective than most people realize. You just have to make sure they go up against the right units. Obviously they're great versus ranged, except maybe the dwarves quarrelers. They're crossbowmen because they are OP, kind of. They're very good in melee. Or they're tanky like all dwarves are. They're armoured and tanky. So yeah, the redesign of this page I think would be good is if I could, for example, put my cursor over the unit and I could see their card, all their details, and maybe more details, maybe how much damage they did individually, how much damage they took, that kind of thing. And also you can't see other armies, so if I had a reinforcing army here, there's no tab to click on to see that army itself, how many kills they got. You can do it after the battle. You see it in a second when it's loaded in, that you can see what the guys have got after the battle, the second army or third army or whatever, but it'd be nice to be able to have it in here, because sometimes loading takes a while. Like this is going to take 60 seconds. It'd be nice to have something to look at and get some more details on. Okay, looking good. Almost ranked up there, but not quite, which is slightly frustrating. What have we got there? Oh, it's the 5. Okay, it's fine. Let's sell them, because again, as I said, great thing about vampires, it doesn't the diplomatic status doesn't matter really, because you're not going to confederate with anybody really. So we've got this, we've got the gold sigil sword. We can put that on the banshee. Maybe next time she get a kill. And we're going to deploy immediately where it's going to be needed most. We'll go there. So put in there. Deploy. Now we get minus 10% cost for construction. I got a lot of money, but that will it adds up. It helps. Okay, now the decision is where to go. I think I've got to take out Schwarzhafen first. Just going to put this on her. There we go. And we're going to delete that because we don't need that anymore. Yeah, we've got 3 of each, that's fine. And we're in turn. Bloody spears are down here, that's strange. So what I plan on doing is coming down, taking out Schwarzhafen here, although that is them most likely attacking Stirland, which means they'll probably take Stirland. They'll probably take Stirland, and then I'll have to deal with them quickly. Really important to deal with them quickly. So this is the kind of pivotal point where... Let's go with another growth. Oh, I haven't got growth at all. I'm an idiot. I built that there instead of growth. Damn, that's not a good idea. Get growth first, because there you've got the tarnished gold pit or whatever it's called, so you're getting a lot of money in. You don't really need the extra money from the gibbet or whatever it's called. What are you doing? Okay, first bit of research has been done. What does that do? I can't remember. Oh, growth. Okay, I need that. Repression. Income from repression buildings, 15%. So is that a repression building? Keep repression, yeah it is. So increased public order. Oh, okay, so a gibbet as in like a cage where you see skeletons hanging from them in the films and stuff. Probably a way of just intimidating the populace into helping me, basically. Sorry, mate. I'm not going to be able to confederate with him, because he's going to take that. So he's going to have a province himself. Confederating with him is really, really difficult. So now what we have is 2 provinces. Obviously great, but what it also means is, let's go Schwarzhafen first, is that we can now get Manfred, or next turn we'll get Manfred as our second army. Repression, that's fine. That's all we can do. Oh, into commandments. Always growth, vampire corruption. And we'll go with Gaze of Nagash. But we'll have two. There. We'll have two casting damage spells for individual units, so we can pop both of those off at the same time, more or less, when we go into combat. What just happened? Oh, you can see up in the corner, Vertbad has been taken over by Vlad. So this is where we've got to be careful, because two reasons. One, Vlad's not going to be happy about us taking out his province, his settlement anyway. Can't see him, it's annoying. And two, everything here is completely exposed. There are no walls on any settlements. They can't defend themselves. So I need to be very careful with that. And I'm going to get Manfred now, because one of the key things I think about the early game of any faction, but especially vampires, where you've got a decent advantage in that. Did she die? She died. Critical failure. In that you get a decent amount of money to start with. You want to keep that money high so that as you move in to take new provinces, you've got lots of money to quickly build them up, because otherwise you have to deal with a lot of rebellions. No. A lot of rebellions because of the lack of vampiric corruption.
Yes, the time is right.
Okay, so he took a bit of damage in there. I can't reach him in one turn, which really sucks. We're going to send Manfred up there as well, because we wanted to get as much experience as possible. Ooh, I might save that for next turn. Yeah, we're going to move you there next turn. So I moved in there, and I didn't build their buildings, even though I've got, what, 10k gold, 10k dark magic. Oh, shit. Did not even contemplate that. Well, that was a quick... that's a quick life and death, or undeath again of oh, where's he going? He's going to go back. Oh, he's not. It's not in there. What does that mean? Can I get him? No, because it's close enough that they'll reinforce him. But he did just take it, so maybe the units in there are damaged. So deploy. So now everything costs 10% less. Oh, it's only one anyway. Well, whatever. Yeah, maybe I should have left him there. Never mind. Can I just get him? No. Really? Why? Oh, he does have these. Oh, and blood bites. Yeah, actually, that's true. That is completely true. This has screwed everything up. I can't attack there because he'll just attack me. I need him to be inside there. He could go now. Oh man, that really screwed everything up. This is not a good start now. Let's end the turn and see what happens. It looks like... Don't declare war. Please don't declare war. Okay, it's fine. I think the Greenskins confederated with bloody spears, which normally means the bloody spears are not doing well, which is not that good because I want them to be attacking the dwarves of Zufbar for me. Okay, he's gone in. He started recruiting. We have very little chance apparently, but we're going to besiege it. We'll wait them out if we need to, and I can build a second army to take the moot. I want to do that before they get an army in there, second army in there. 3 turns. You're going to go there because next turn that's going to be ready. Now we need to see how long our friend is going to be out. 3 more turns. It's annoying. It's really important to try and get your legendary lords up as soon as possible so they can get as much experience as possible. Because you could have one army for the first 30 turns and then get a second army and have another 30 turns of that. By the time you get your third army, they're going to be miles and miles and miles behind in terms of experience and everything. What is this? Carry out assassination to give us Emmanuel Posner. Oh, that's quite nice. That'd be really nice in the cavalry. But I need to assassinate her. Can I do that? Who's Emmanuel? Is that her? Okay, let's try.
Kill them, my children.
I can't do it while I'm besieging. Well, he didn't attack me, so I can just wait them out, which is 7 more turns. Kind of sucks, but
business. I foresee great food.
Sweet. Get that, and we can get that. So what I tend to do... Oh, actually, I'm looking at the clock, man. We're out of time. So we're going to finish the episode there. I'm going to continue straight on because I want to get rid of Vlad. I need revenge for Manfred. But that was episode 1. Guys, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time for episode 2.